Rama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishekha Shuddhavadi Paschatya Dishatadine Namaste Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda
Shri Krishna
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Krishna Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaye Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nandi Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishe Shashinani Vaschakadeshavini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gauravakunda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gauravakunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Today we are beginning session 4 titled Prakriti, Material Nature. In other words, we'll study about the Maya Shakti and the three modes of nature. Okay, starting teachings based on Srila Prabhupada's books and lectures. So we look at the importance of understanding material nature, Maya Shakti, creation of the material world, Maya as the illusory energy, three modes of nature, Triguna, and overcoming illusion. Okay, beginning of the importance of understanding material nature. Okay, so one question here, that we all came to study Bhagavad Gita, we all want to know about the spiritual energy. So now why are we studying material energy? This is discussed in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam begins, Srimad Bhagavatam translates to beautiful science of God. Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam means in relation to Bhagavan. So that is the topmost scripture. So, but it begins with study of matter. So why is that? Well, the answer is because we want to know about spirit and go there, but we are trapped in a material world and we are in this material body. How are we trapped? How is it working? We have to know that before we can talk about Goloka. Okay, now the chapter that discusses material nature in detail, because everything is discussed everywhere in detail, but their general focuses. In chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita, the material energy is described in detail. So in chapter 14, Krishna begins and with this verse. This is 14.1. So Krishna tells Arjuna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all sages have attained the supreme perfection. So now Krishna had already explained such high topics. Chapter 1 to 13. Chapter 9, such high knowledge. 10, Vibhuti Yoga. Okay, but now Krishna is saying, I'm going to give you higher knowledge than all that. So we understand from previous acharyas that Krishna is telling Arjuna, okay, pay attention. I'm going to now speak something very high. So pay attention. So here I underline this knowledge. By this knowledge, sages have attained supreme perfection. The rishis attain perfection by knowledge of matter, how it's working in Maya, because we have to come out of it. Okay, then the second verse in this chapter, it says, by becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. By knowing about this topic that we are discussing today, one can get a spiritual body. At the present moment, we have a material body, which is a big obstacle for our daily life. So, by understanding about matter and material nature, we can come out of this material body and material nature. Even though we are here, we may not leave it. So, this is the importance of understanding material nature. And that's why Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the topmost study of God in his spiritual world, begins with understanding about the body and the creation of the material world. Okay. So now, topic begins Maya Shakti. So let us try to understand. We are discussing Maya Shakti, which is a Shakti of Vishnu. Okay. In Vishnu Puran, there's a series of verses that explains the Shaktis of Vishnu. How many Shaktis of Vishnu are there totally? I mean, how can we classify them? All of them. Summary. External, internal, and marginal. Okay, who can say the Sanskrit? Tatastha, Bahiranga, and Antaranga. Okay, now, you know why the Sanskrit words sometimes they are important to know? Because Sanskrit is such a language, every word, if you look at the word, you can understand the meaning and deep import of it. So let's look at marginal energy, which in Sanskrit is called Tatastha Shakti. Who is that? Yeah. Tatastha Shakti means the marginal energy is the soul, we. Okay? So, Vishnu's energies are so many. They can be divided into the spiritual, material, and marginal. Material energy is what? All this matter. Summarized in 8 elements. Bhumi, Rapa, Nala, Vayu, earth, water, fire, air, ether, false ego, mind, intelligence. So, the material energy, Krishna's material energy, is the matter. Okay, then we have spiritual energy. What is spirit? Spiritual energy is the whole of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is made of spirit. Okay? Plus Vishnu. Vishnu's form is spirit. Now we, the Jiva, what are we called? We are called marginal or tatastha in Sanskrit. Why are we called tatastha? What is the meaning of tata? So, tata means in Sanskrit the bank. If you say Yamuna Tat, the bank of the river. Tat means edge. Kinara, the edge. Okay, Tat. So we are called the edge. Tata Shakti. Tata means situated. We are situated on the edge. Edge of what? Edge of matter and spirit. Now when we say Tat in the river is flowing. Then you have the Tat, the bank of the river. The thing about the bank of a river is that it may be underwater or not. When the river floods, it comes underwater. When the river comes down, then it's not underwater. Similarly, we are called tatastha, situated on the bank, because we may be in matter or we may be in spirit. Where are we now? Matter. We are situated in matter, but not always. We were in the spiritual. And majority, according to Shastra, Ekapada, and the 3/4 of the souls of this creation are in the spiritual world, are in Vaikuntha. Only a quarter in the Vishnu world. But the point here is, Vishnu has 3 energies, as this verse says in Vishnu Purana. The internal potency of the Supreme Lord Vishnu is spiritual, as verified by the Shastra. There is another spiritual potency known as Kshetragya, or living entity. The third potency is known as nescience, material energy. That makes the living entity godless and fills him with fruitive activity. Poking the soul is the living entity, although he has facility to live in either the material or spiritual, he suffers the threefold miseries of material existence because he is influenced by avidya, nescience, potency, which covers the constitutional position. I'll decide on that. So here it's saying that there are 3 energies of Vishnu: matter, spirit, and marginal. We, soul, and matter, and spirit. We, soul, can either be matter or spirit. When we are in matter, we are illusion, like now. When we are in the spiritual energy, we are liberated. Okay, that is the main thing. So now, let me just summarize. Look at this. This is the 3 energies of Vishnu: spiritual, marginal, material. The third energy is our subject of today. Material energy, known as Bahiranga Shakti, Maya Shakti, covers the soul and makes him godless, makes him think I matter, makes him think that I am Punjabi or Indian or American. Whereas we are not, we are a soul. Okay, so the Maya Shakti, what is it? It's energies of Vishnu. All energies of Vishnu are managed by personalities. Even the material world, sun, heat, light, we may or may not know, but everything is personified. Even the ocean, there is a personality who is in charge of that. So the material energy is managed by Maya Devi, also known as Durga Devi, Mother Nature in English. Oh, I should have asked you. Okay. So Maya means, Ma, Sanskrit means not. Ya means this. Maya means this is not the reality. what I'm perceiving, that I'm working, I'm earning, I'm living, and this is my nationality, this is my country. This is all like some dream. In a dream, nothing is factual. We'll wake up, it's not there. I was mentioning yesterday. Similarly, we're in a big dream of Maya, thinking, I'm this, I'm that. And next life, now I'm an American, or hedgehog, or snake. So because of the influence of Maya, our identity is gone, actual identity. Maya means this is not reality. Maya is the illusory energy which bewilders us, which make animals behave like an animal. Okay. Durg in Sanskrit means difficult. Durgam, difficult to come out. Durg also means fort. So this material world is a prison for fallen souls. It's difficult to get out of. And so it's called Durg, difficult. And the superintendent is called Durga, Maya Devi. She is governing this material world and bewildering us. Okay, this is a picture of the spiritual world. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, what we understand, someone drew it. Actually, Srila Prabhupada in the beginning, when he came to America, this was on the cover of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, you can imagine this whole room is Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, and there are many spiritual planets where people who worship different avatars come. If you worship Narasimha, Ram, you come to a planet, Vishnu. But the biggest planet is Goloka, where Krishna resides. That's mentioned. Goloka namni nijadhami tale chatasya devi masya haridhamasa teshu teshu. We have Devi Dham, means this material world under Devi, under Durga. Devi Mahesh Dham. Higher than that is Shiva's abode. Devi Mahesha Haridham. Then Vishnu Haridhamasa teshu teshu. Higher than that is. This is Golok Dham, according to Brahma Samhita. Have you heard Brahma Samhita? Some of you? Yes, question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yesterday you mentioned that when soul is purified,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
to go to the spiritual world.
First, it's part of the past tense.
Okay, yeah, that's the part which I
Yes.
don't understand. Like what happens the time in between before the soul gets to the spiritual world?
I don't know that answer, but you see, time is only affecting conditioned souls. Time is a feature of material nature. So when someone dies and takes birth again, we say, oh, time. For us, it's time. For him, it's 1 second. Time is not affecting everyone equally. For mosquito, because everyone lives 100 years, even a mosquito. But for us, it's 2 days for the mosquito. They have 48 hours life. So what we see as time, like when someone dies, many people who narrate their past lives, they said that they narrating how they died. Small children, 3-4 years old. This happened, then I died. Then suddenly I was born. But it's not sudden. It's months or sometimes long time. So time is it's manipulated by Maya. There's no time. It's not there. One dies, then takes birth, and then does the reason. Yeah.
So, okay, you're saying that Maya is a illusion, so how to get out from that?
That illusion. Okay, this is the subject towards the end. I'll explain that. Okay, how to come out of it.
You said Goloka Vrindavan is the government planet
Yeah.
that I can
Yeah.
So, is it compulsory for us to choose one planet? What if we like different forms and we like to occasionally visit other planets as well?
When you're liberated, you'll be so attracted to Krishna, you'll not want to go anywhere else. But people worship different personalities. And in the Vishnu Tattva category, God category, they'll be in Vaikuntha, and one can go there.
Like, yeah, majority of the time we spend in
Also, some people, I mean, this is going very high now, but we can have two personalities, one in the Krishna Lila, one in the Chaitanya Lila. So similarly, like Chaitanya Lila, and Murari Gupta was Hanuman in Ram Lila. So we can be in different Leelas at once. That's mentioned by Dr. Thakur. Okay, so this picture we can see is the spiritual world. Now imagine like this, that this is the spiritual world and some souls are going against Vishnu. So what happens that Krishna doesn't leave his pastime. Nitya Lila. It will go on. That will go on. He has nothing to do. Upanishad says, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Natakshamasha bhyan prashna drishyate. He has nothing to do. Karyam karanam. Karyam means no kartavya. Karyam. And karanam means nothing caused his creation. So, he will just be in his Leela. But now material world has to be created. What's going to happen? Krishna expands into Mahavishnu form, Balaram, Chaturvyuha, Mahavishnu form. Mahavishnu goes in a corner of Vaikuntha, lies down, and then a cloud covers that area of Vaikuntha. That becomes material world. Then he exhales, and the universes come out of his pores, and the creation starts. He glances, and I go over it again, it's very fast. He glances at Lakshmi, she expands into Durga. Then his glance transforms into Shiva. Then Shiva and Durga unite to produce the material world. So that is just a corner of Vaikuntha, but Vaikuntha is huge. We can't understand how big it is. Material world itself is very big. Therefore, 14 planetary systems. Each system, there are many planets. We are in the middle planetary system, where there are many earthly planets. What we are seeing on this science charts of 9 planets, that is not according to the Vedas. Okay, last question.
I have a question that we can do. Once we liberate, he said first we have to undergo like the pastimes with the Krishna, and then
To get fully purified.
and then we go. So in this case, the pastimes happen in the material world or the spiritual world?
No, these are the pastimes where Krishna descends.
Or in the material world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when Krishna descends, those who are pure and just little, they'll come, and his eternal associates will also come.
And then after that we go to spiritual world.
Yeah, we are purified. And that happened, if you read our Srimad Bhagavatam or Srila Prabhupada, it's mentioned that after delivering Shalya, Krishna, when he fought him, that flying snake, then he finished. He was right near Vrindavan that time, although he was living in Dwarka. So it's not mentioned in the Sanskrit. But Vishnu Chandra Thakur, previous Acharyas explained that then he entered Vrindavan and divided into 3. And one of the parts went back to Goloka with the purified living entities who were contaminated, had to take part in the Leela. He went back. Another part stayed and became aprakat within Vrindavan, because in Vrindavan also Leela continues continuously, and the third part went back to Dwarka. That is little going further now. Okay, I'll go on. Okay, so now Maya Shakti, we mentioned that everything of Krishna's energies is personified, it's taken by a personality. So Maya Shakti is taken care of by Maya Devi or Durga Devi. She's in charge of material creation. This creation is described by Bhagavad Gita as Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. The material creation is Alayam. You're familiar with this word? Alayam. What is Granthalaya? Library. Granthalaya. What is Shikshalaya? Yeah. What is Dukkhalaya? Place of misery. So actually Shikshalaya means place of instruction. Granthalaya, place of books. This is Dukkhalaya. Bhagavad Gita says, don't waste time looking for happiness, it's not here. Bhagavad Gita says, this place is meant to give suffering, and ashashvatam, it's temporary, everything is temporary. If you think I found a good situation now, I got a good job, everything, suddenly the government changes and messes up. Or government is good, my money is there, everything's fine. Then a cyclone came, or corona came. So this is material world. Always one wave is hitting you here, another wave will hit you. This is the plan. Don't be surprised. And don't think it's some rare event. No, this is common. This is material world. There will be something happening to upset everything. Okay, that is the plan of Durga Devi here.
Prabhuji, if you are saying Durga Devi is in charge of material creation, why is Vishnu in charge of maintenance of the material world?
Yeah, he's in charge and destruction is Shiva, yes, okay. But she's acting. He's not doing it. Vishnu is, like even secondary creation, Brahma does it, but actually Vishnu. Everything is done by Vishnu. But under him, all these personalities are there. We look at one shloka. Next slide, you will see that shloka, where it says that she's acting under Govinda. So, Maya Devi causes suffering to punish conditioned souls in the material world in different ways. And the Trishul is embodying the three forms of suffering. What are the three forms of suffering? Adhyatmik, Adidevic, Adibhautik. In English, suffering caused by our own body or mind, suffering caused by demigods or nature, and suffering caused by other living entities. Okay. So, different sufferings, they can all be divided into three. And so it's mentioned that her Trishul, she is spoken figuratively, all of us with misery, because we are offenders to Vishnu. Another name of Durga Devi, have you heard this? Vaishnavi. Yeah, Vaishnav means devotee of Vishnu. Vaishnavi, female devotee of Vishnu. Yeah. So she's a devotee of Vishnu. Her name is Vaishnavi. And so those who turn against Vishnu, she punishes. People worship her for material benefits, but even they will suffer. And she will give it. Now we have this, work hard for money. But the Vedas explain, you want money, you do this yagya, this mantra, this and that. And you want position, you do this. You do in Mahabharata, King Drupad wanted somebody to kill Dronacharya. So he did that yagya, and out of the yagya came Drishtadyumna and Draupadi. So you just have to do the yagya, and the mantras are there, everything. So similarly, people want wealth, position, good birth, they can get it. You have to say the appropriate mantras. Dhanam Dehi, Yasho Dehi, the prayer, we get it. But we will not get happiness, we will not get liberation. That should not. So we said that Durga Devi is not independent. This is a shlok in Brahma Samhita. Srishti Siddhi Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vyasya Bhuvanani Vibhakti Durga Ichhanu Rupamapi Yasya Chacheshtate Sa Govindamadi Purushottamaham Bhajami. The external potency known as Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of the mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. The third line, Ichhanurupamapiyasya chacheshtate sa. Ichha. According to the desire of Vishnu, she acts. So we said Vishnu is maintainer, Shiva's destroyer, whatever. But she's the agency who does it. Now, okay, Shiva, Bhava, but she's a consort of Shiva. So even destruction she does, but under his order. So you can see that she is the third energy personified. We have three principal energies of Vishnu. The third energy, Durga Devi, Maya Devi. And in this translation I wrote, it's there. Although he has facility to live in either the material or spiritual world, he suffers the threefold miseries of the material existence because he is influenced by the Vidya, nescience, potency, which covers his constitutional position. The Jiva can go to Vaikuntha and live happily, but he is now covered by the effect of Maya and suffering and lost his knowledge. Avidya, knowledge is gone. Okay, now let's look at creation of material energy. Now, material world. Okay, now I explain this slide. That this is a Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha does not destroy. That in Bhagavad Gita, a few verses are there explaining about Vaikuntha. So there Krishna says about creation and destruction of the material world. Then he says, Parastasma tu bhav anyo Avyakta Avyakta Sanatana. There's another creation, Arjun, because Bhagavad Gita is meant for us in material world. So we are reading it here in material world. Then he tells Arjun, Parastasmatu Bhava Anya. There's another higher nature, Para. Tasmatu Bhava Anya, another nature which is higher. Avyakta Avyakta Sanatana. It is higher than this material world, which is going to get destroyed one day. There will be destruction, everything will be finished. Then again it will be created. Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. It says, created, destroyed, created, destroyed. This is the material world. So then Krishna says, but there's another nature which does not destroy. Yasarveshu Bhuteshu Nashyatsu Na Panashyati. When everything he has destroyed, that will remain as it is. So that is reference to Vaikuntha in Bhagavad Gita, the spiritual world which is never destroyed. Everything is as it is. But we are in a material world. There is a dark cloud there. There, Mahavishnu lies down while Krishna is continuing his Leela. Mahavishnu creates, and the three Vishnus administer the material world. Mahavishnu, Vishnu, and Karana, Vishnu. They administer the material world.
When the demigods are the state, it looks called spiritual world. Demigods.
Now, there are two categories of demigods. Some demigods that we see, they are like us, but having higher bodies.
But when they stay, we can't say it is spiritual world.
No, it's not. If you see in Brahma Samhita, they explain Devi, Mahesha, Haridhamasu, Teshu, Goloka. Goloka is there. Devi Dham, material world. The demigods administering sun, moon, light, okay? But then this will all be destroyed one. Brahma created. Brahma is also a jiva like us, but with a higher body, higher creation, personality. So, but now I don't want to confuse you too much, but there's a category of jivas who are eternal demigods who will come during creation to pray to Garbhodaksha Vishnu because he is in his yoga in the transcendental sleep after creating. They pray to him, please wake up, you are the soul of the universe, only when you are awake it will work. Then everything is created and the material demigods are created. These are two categories of demigods. Elevated demigods. You have Ashwini Kumars, Surya Narayan. Then in second canto Bhagavatam it's mentioned that the breath is one demigod in charge of that. Blinking eyes, Surya is in charge of sight. So that is, if you have eye problem, you wait to the sun. You have problem for that matter. So those are the demigods. So creation of the material world began how? First of all, we have to understand here in Bhagavad Gita that what we are taught in school in science, they don't speak anything about spirit, God, soul, Shirodaksha Vishnu. So we get the impression that this is a material world working on its own. Plant, you put the seed, it grows, gives the fruit. Water is flowing, evaporation is happening, rain is coming, cyclone, everything is just happening naturally. It's not like that. Krishna says in Gita, it should be understood all species of life are son of. Oh, okay, one more thing. What about us? There is no spirit, there is no God. How did we come? According to modern science, there was a big bang, then there were gases produced, gases became condensed, when the temperature came down, it became liquid, there was a thunderbolt, then life came. And they made one very interesting film based on that. Frankenstein. Someone put together some flesh and put a current, life came. Very good film and book, but can you do it in real life? You cannot make life. Life is not coming from these chemicals. So, this is what we are taught in school. Now, if we have that vision, it's very difficult to get bhakti and to understand about God. This is the big problem with modern science. Once Srila Prabhupada was naming one of his disciples, Asura Kula Narjanadas, after Diksha, and that was after one song. I think in Yashomati Nandan is there. Yeah. So, Prabhupada asked him, you know who the Asuras? Then, because that's his name, so Prabhupada said that you have to kill the asuras, means figuratively defeat them. So Prabhupada, and he was narrating his memories of Prabhupada, then he became afraid. What? Mayavadi? Prabhupada said, no, scientists, they have big obstacles to bhakti and God consciousness in our age, because they're teaching strange concept that no soul, we are just matter, chemicals. Okay. So now Bhagavad Gita says, it should be understood all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and I am the seed-giving father. Yes, we come out of matter, body is developed in the womb, then it's given a shape, and comes. But Krishna originally gave all the souls in this world. We are all from Krishna. This is the point to understand. So we are not products of matter, and matter is not the highest principle. Spirit is behind matter. Spirit is driving matter. Practically, the whole nature is working because of Vishnu in the form of Shirodaksha. Vishnu is inside everything. Even the atom. Brahma Samhita says that Vishnu is in the atom. Andan Tarasta, Andan, that's in, he's in the universe. Andan Tarasta Paramanu Chayandrastam. Param Anu. Anu is atom. Paramanu is, we don't know yet what is smaller than the atom, but according to Sanskrit, there's another element, another substance. So, Vishnu is residing in the atom. You know, and the atom inside, there's so much power in an atom that it produces atomic bomb. Electrons are going around. Where is that energy going from? From Vishnu. So, the principle behind nature, what we see in this body, is spirit. Creation. We're talking about creation of the material world. How did this happen? This is given in Aitri Upanishad. Sa ikrata lokan nusajat sa ima lokan asujata. Now look at this picture. Vishnu is glancing. He's glancing at Durga. So creation happened when Vishnu glanced at the material energy and began the process of creation. He created the entire material manifestation. Durga is like the mother of creation. She provided all the ingredients, Mother Nature. Vishnu looked at her to begin the process, and when he glanced at her, then the souls entered from his eyesight. This is all in Brahma Samhita. The souls came from his eye and entered Durga. But he cannot directly approach Durga because she's material energy, he's spiritual. Spirit and matter will not meet. So he transforms into Shambhu, Shiva, who is an entity transformed from him, but not on an equal level. He's a transformation who unites with Durga to produce the material creation. And the second that they both unite, that is the Shivling that is worshipped. And that is the greatest principle in the material world. But that is if we don't... Is it a question? Okay. That is the greatest principle in the material world. If we don't know who is Vishnu, then one is enjoying to worship Lord Shiva and Durga. They are the greatest personalities in the material creation. But if that knowledge and realization is beyond of spirit and a spiritual being, a spiritual world, then the Vedas enjoying to worship Vishnu. Question?
We also hear from the Bible that Brahma creates.
Yes.
So if you say Shiva and Durga
Create, okay.
then what does Brahma create?
What is Brahma create? Okay. So if we study in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two creations. It's called Sarga and Visarga. Sarga is the first creation that happens that, for example, Vishnu glances, then Durga Devi provides the ingredients such as all the senses, Triguna, whatever is needed, intelligence, mind, everything is given in a collective form. Then the living entities are created, little is taken from that. Then, when it comes time to create the 14 planetary systems and the individual bodies, that is done by Brahma. So that's called Visarga. And Sarga is the creation, the primary creation, Vishnu create. Then Brahma is given the position to create. He's a normal Jeev like us, who took 100 births and lived as a pious, in a pious Brahminical way. 100 births as a perfect Brahmin, one takes birth as Brahma. And if there's no such Jeev, then Vishnu himself will come and take that position. Because the Jiva wants to create and wants to be Lord of everything. So they are given position by Vishnu. They came to this material world. All of us take birth as Brahma first. Then we degrade and come down.
So we created.
At one time. Yes.
I mean,
sorry, just now you said you
Yeah,
have to live 100 pious lives to
Yes,
become
become
Brahma,
Brahma.
and now you said that we took first birth as Brahma, so it doesn't really add up.
Yeah. If when we descend from Vaikuntha, the first, because we are still pure, so we first take Brahma birth. Okay. Then we create, we do everything, and if we're not able to, then we descend, we come down, down, down. Okay. But now, out of the jivas in the material world, once creation already happened, the jivas are given chance to live their lives and to become perfect. So one can again become Brahma if they live 100 lives and practice the Brahma dharma properly. Brahmin as a Brahmin. Yeah, it is both ways. But when we fall from Vaikuntha, the first birth is as Brahma. That comes if you see in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, text 1 and 2. There the upside down tree is explained. There's a mention of this point. So, Sa Ikshata, Prabhupada quotes this a lot. Sa Ikshata, he glanced. This is Vishnu glancing and making possible the beginning of creation. So now, actually the mundane reproductive process between man and woman is a reflection of Shiva and Durga's uniting together and producing this material creation. Everything is imitation. Vishnu injects the souls just by glancing. You can see the picture.
Wait, what is Shiva's role again?
Actually, it's Shiva and Durga that create. Because this is a material creation, Vishnu does not get involved in matter at all. It's Shiva and Durga. So he transforms into, and then Lakshmi transforms into Durga. There's a word for that. Chaya, the shadow of the Chit potency. She's a expansion from Lakshmi and then Vishnu, and together the matter, everything to do with matter is handled by them. Lakshmi and Vishnu are only coming in the spiritual energy.
But Durga provides the senses, like senses, for example. Brahma creates the plan.
Yeah, correct.
What does Shiva exactly do?
When Vishnu glances at Durga, at that time, Vishnu, Shiva and Durga unite together to produce. So that time Vishnu doesn't do anything. He doesn't do it. It's Shiva who does it, who unites with Durga in the beginning.
Oh, after that, then the senses are.
Yeah, then everything starts. Everything starts. Behind material nature is the spiritual potency of Vishnu. You should understand, even though material nature there's so many demigods and Shiva and Durga, but Vishnu's will, by his will, they're doing everything. That he says in chapter 14. There's a verse in the beginning of chapter 14 where he says that. So now, creation of the material creation. What is the purpose of material creation? Who can see? Some of you read books, read lectures. Why is the world created? Yeah.
Free will, living in peace.
But why was this world created?
They wanted to enjoy independent of Krishna.
Okay, they want to enjoy independent of Krishna. Anything based on what we heard? That's the answer we say a lot. But if we analyze, there's some deeper meanings. That's true what you said. So, you see, this is a picture of the spiritual world. We are seeing what's the purpose of material creation. In the spiritual creation, what's going on? The topmost position is Golok. In Golok, what happens? Krishna is enjoying his Leela eternally. Every day, throughout the day, this time he'll go here, he'll go there with the Gopas, then with the Gopis, then Ras Leela, everything. And we are meant to be in that Leela. Originally, we were in that Leela. And that was the greatest bliss, happiness. Okay, but we had the thought, many times Prabhupada says, somehow or other, he doesn't give detail. Sometimes he says, due to curiosity, other times we just did not want to serve God. We thought, why I'm serving him? I want to be God. Ishvara ham bhogi. I'm enjoying, I'm God. So we want to enjoy it. But we cannot do that here in Goloka. Krishna is enjoying. Therefore, material world is manifest. But the purpose of creation, okay, there are three purposes of creation. School, playground, and prison. Okay, first, school. Why? Because the jiva did not want to serve God So now he has to be taught that this is what you have to do. Through Vedas, he has to sit and study and understand that without serving God, without coming and living in the plan of God, of creation, there cannot be happiness. Technically, we as jivas are meant for service of God. That is the purpose of our creation. We may not serve God and live a different way, but that is not going to give us happiness. It's not our natural position. So we have to learn that again. Just like in a school, we are taught things. That's one purpose of creation. Another purpose is playground. That we wanted to be imitation God. We are not God. Krishna and Radha and the jivas. But we appear here, Krishna, as taking that position, and we have our enjoy, our potency, and the jivas. People looking up to us to provide. It could be children, or it could be like if you're a king, then your subjects. We wanted to be the supreme, and then people looking up to us. So, okay, you cannot do that here. Here you pretend to be God. So we give it. Just like I give an explanation that the son sees the father driving a car, and he tells the father, I want to drive a car. You cannot drive a car. But you go to the shop and buy that toy car, and go around, and he's happy thinking that I'm Shri Shri Radha Ki Jai. So now the child, a small son, is given a toy car, and he's thinking, I'm driving a car. So similarly, we come here and we're deluded to think that I am running my life, everything is our karma from past life. So therefore it's a playground to imitate God. And third is prison, punishment for those who rebel against God. We rebelled against God. We went against the plan of creation. Krishna provides everything. Our Satchidanand feature is maintained by God. Samvit Sandhini Hladini. These energies of Krishna, they govern our eternality, knowledge, and happiness in the spiritual world. In material world also, we are fully dependent on God. We are breathing, He's enabling us to live. So, going against God is a form of offense. And so it's a form of punishment for those who rebel against God's creation. Prison and karmic reactions happen. And so this is the purpose of the material creation. There are three purposes. Okay, now that was creation of the material world. Then once the material world is created, then Maya is in charge of the living entities. Actually, we have to be under Krishna. And under Krishna, we meant to serve. But we didn't want to serve. But actually, we are serving Krishna now. But through the agency of Maya. We can never not serve Krishna. Because that is our position. But now, we are serving our senses. We are serving Maya through our senses. But Maya is under Krishna. So it's the same, but in a more painful way. According to the Upanishads, we are all souls, children of the Supreme Personality, Krishna. We were once in Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world. Okay, so we cannot see the spiritual world, we don't have that vision. This is some pictures that Srila Prabhupada commissioned to be drawn based on knowledge from the Puranas, that we understand what is in the spiritual world. It's the in Srimad Bhagavatam description in third canto, 4.
This is Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha. Vishnu's Haridham. So there's a shlok in the Upanishads. Shvedashvara Upanishad. I think I quoted this. Shruvanta Vishwamritasya Putra Ayedhamani Vidyani Tashtu. Shvedashvara Upanishad. All you sons of immortality, here, you who once resided in the divine kingdom. So for Upanishads tell us, we are not from here, we are from another place. Dhamani Divyani. Tashtu means situated. We were situated in a spiritual world, divine kingdom. So, we are now here after having gone away from service to God. But all of us are souls. Naturally, we gravitate to serving God, but we didn't want to serve God. Now we end up serving some great personality. Idol. The word idol, actual meaning, nowadays we use Vigraha, we say idol, it's not. That is deity. Idol means worshipping some material object. Example, some film star, cricket star, people go wild, Go and meet him at the airport, get the signature on the phone, put the picture, And when there's a match, we go and cheer, and the tendency is there, but it's meant to be for God. What a devotee will do. Same thing. We'll put Krishna. We'll come here, and there's a festival. We'll come and worship Krishna. We'll dance. We'll sing to his kirtan. But if we don't do that, we'll have to do it for some cricket star, film star, or politician. And also, we are all trying to find some happiness, peace, and harmony. And we want a situation where everything is peaceful, balanced, all our friends are with us and family. Actually, we want Goloka. That's Goloka. But as Prabhupada said, we want kingdom of God, but not God. But that won't happen. So naturally, we have this some memory that I was there, and I'm trying to recreate it here, but it cannot be recreated. We have to once again surrender to Krishna. Then we come under the spiritual energy, not under Durga. And then we manifest our full spiritual consciousness. So, Upanishads say that we are from, and there's a lot of verses like this telling us where we are from actually. How can we, who are associates of God in Vaikuntha, now think we are part of this material world? You see, I'm saying so many times, we are the servant of God, we are in Krishna's Leela, we are having different identities there. Now, how is it that we are spirit souls, now that we think we are these bodies, cats, dogs, Americans, humans, look at these pictures. So we have some British people, Americans, Indians, so proud, all the flag, Indian, American, cat is thinking he's a cat, frog is thinking he's a frog, he behave like a frog. They're so proud of it. And the rat is so proud of his hole, he protected. This is my world, this is my house. How is it, what happened to the jiva? Why did this jiva, eternal servant of God, end up here? And some jivas are in pig bodies, searching stool in the gutter. They think this is bliss. How did we come in? And how is it we perpetuating this existence? Two words. Because of Maya. Being deluded by Maya, now you are thinking that I am all these different things. And not this life, next life something else. The next life something else. This is going on eternally. And this is the power of Maya. That it can delude us to think that we are something which we are not. Let's look at these verses describing Maya. So here, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, O conqueror of the four, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by duality producing from desire and hate. So here, all living entities, we are all bewildered. Don't think some author in America will write a book, spiritual book, and he'll take you out of suffering. He is also bewildered. They don't know anything. No one can save us except God or Shastra, because they're not in Maya. Someone will write a book, 7 spiritual laws of success or something, and he's going to give you a spiritual path. But he himself is in Maya. Everyone's in Maya. And so no one can take us out of Maya. But who can take us out? Who's not in Maya? And the books which are not in Maya, example Bhagavad Gita, that's not in Maya. But so many books other people are reading, it has to be written, it has to be a Shastra, or commented or written by pure devotee in a parampara from Krishna, who had a guru who is in the parampara. Then they can, through their words, liberate us. Or Vishnu himself doesn't happen. His representative comes, then we get liberated. So the point here is that everyone is in Maya. Krishna says that. Maya covers our original spiritual identity. We said that. Why? Why does Maya cover us when we come here? Why is Maya disturbing us? Because we did not want to serve God, but that's not possible. The jeev must serve God. If I say I don't want to serve God, I want to enjoy on my own, but you cannot do that because we know that. So Maya covers our identity. Now I forget I'm a soul. I forget I'm a servant of Krishna. Now I can be a snake or dog or whatever I wanted. Depending on our desires and actions in the past life, Maya gives us a body and bewilders us to think that we are that body. only then can we try to enjoy it. So we see this picture. What was our desire was not possible in the human birth, so we're given a suitable body. These pictures show a person who was doing certain activities, and the next birth is taking a form suitable to do that activity. Okay, so if we are suffering a lot and want to forget our troubles, what do we do? We try to forget our troubles. If we are suffering, and we want to forget, so what do we do? How do we forget our troubles? If we are suffering, and this suffering is causing so much problem, so we want to forget it. So we have to somehow forget these troubles. So in normal material life, yeah?
Ignorance.
Hmm?
We could ignore it.
No, in modern life now, people are going through suffering. They want to stop it.
Ignorance. Ignorance is bliss.
No, but ignorance means you don't know. They know, this is going in my life, that is going, okay, I'll give the solution. This is the solution, but it doesn't work. Intoxication. People think, okay, I'm suffering, I don't want this suffering, so I'll get intoxicated. When you're intoxicated, you forget temporarily, but after that it comes double. That's it. Yeah. Some of you are smiling more than others, more than me. Okay, so
So to forget something, is there another solution like dhyan?
yeah, so I'm making a point here, that the point here is, if someone is in a situation with it, someone's at the door. No. No. If someone is undergoing suffering and wants to forget it, they try to become intoxicated. So, I'm just making a point. That's a temporary way to forget problem is intoxication. Okay. Similarly, I'm looking at the jiva. Jiva descends in this material world, and Maya Shakti is like intoxication that makes you forget your identity, forget everything, and therefore we then behave like someone different, like an intoxicated person. If you meet a person who's intoxicated, they're not behaving the same normally, and they forget everything, what they're meant to do, meant to where's the house, everything they forget. So they forget. So in this way, Maya covers us and we forget everything. But actually, just like an intoxicated person, he thinks he's happy, but he's not happy. From external point of view, we are seeing he may be smiling and laughing, but we can understand this person is suffering. He doesn't understand. So similarly, in this state of Maya, whatever happiness we think people are seeing, it's not factual. It's not factual because I'm not the body. The happiness, whatever we get in the material world, is for the body. It is not real happiness. But if someone's really Maya, they'll not get it. But after some time, people come to some Gyan. How will you come to Gyan? Either you come in touch with spiritual energy through a book, a devotee, or kirtan or class, or just like that, too much suffering happens. Then you come to some Gyan. Gyan means I begin to perceive that I'm not this body, and so the normal happiness is not working for me anymore. After that, we begin searching, and that brings us to spiritual path. Okay, so the real form of happiness, we realize that we are not really, it's not really a form of happiness because it's temporary and not really satisfying. So being in that Maya condition, after some time we begin to realize that this happiness I'm getting, it's not happiness, I'm not happy. I want something more, something deeper. So they begin to withdraw from material activities and seek a higher spiritual truth because this is not fulfilling, and actually, but it's fulfilling others. Why isn't it fulfilling this person? Because Maya withdrew a little. Why did Maya withdraw? Because they came in contact with Krishna, some way, unknowingly. Devotee, prasadam, kirtan, a book, something. So Maya withdrew. When Maya withdraws little, then some jnana comes. Then it doesn't work. So this is the functioning of Maya. So the deluding portent, how Maya deludes? Yeah, I mentioned this. We begin to see higher. So Bhagavad Gita gives the knowledge how one can come to that higher consciousness and become free from this matter. And therefore we have to understand about matter. Matter means Maya and the material world. How it's deluding us. Once there's a tale that Srila Prabhupada explained that, these stories between Akbar and Birbal, lots of Gyan stories. Akbar is asking Birbal and he's getting some answer. So Akbar asks Birbal, how does this Maya work? How can we get free from it? So Birbal went and caught hold of a tree tightly like that and said, shouting, "Tree, leave me alone, stop holding me, let me go." Trying to explain that actually it's not that Maya caught us, it's we are catching Maya. We are wanting to enjoy in this world and this body. We have to transfer our desire to serve Krishna and detach from matter and attach to spirit. Then we will not be affected. But actually we should not blame Maya, because Maya comes where someone is turning away from Krishna. So when I said we have to understand material nature, so now this is discussion of the Triguna. How does material nature work to delude us? Okay, it works in three modes. Three modes, this in Sanskrit the word is gun. Gun. Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. Little fast because of time. Okay, so this is known as Triguna, three qualities or three ropes. As a rope is strong due to being intertwined with three strands, so Maya is strong because it has three modes intertwined. This is the way. A rope is intertwined like that makes it very strong. So, Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. I think, has everyone heard of these terms? Sattvagun, Rajagun. How much deep to go. So now, in Bhagavad Gita, many verses are there. Chapter 14 speaks about it, but a brief mention is made in one or two chapters, verses before that. Material nature consists of three modes, three gunas: goodness, passion, ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, it becomes conditioned. Jiva is in Vaikuntha. He didn't want to serve Krishna. He sent down here. When he sent down, he enters material world, immediately the modes capture. And Sattva-tama Rajagun, the soul gets covered and is given a false identity known as Ahankara. A false identity. This animal, this human, this religion, this country, citizen. Maya conditions us to three modes. So now, when this is a major topic in Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is that science by which the jiva understands God and how to come to Him and how he is deluded. This is a very major topic. Knowledge of material nature means science of the modes of nature. It's mentioned in depth in Bhagavata and Gita. How the modes interact, which modes are present in a particular place, mode activity, and therefore how to overcome the modes. And when we are saying we have to learn material nature to come out of it, this is the point. We have to have a vision to see the modes. Okay, so in the beginning we quoted two verses. 14.1 Gita, where Krishna says, by this knowledge, sages attain perfection. What knowledge? Guna. Knowledge of Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. Knowledge of this will help us come out of it. Okay, and by this knowledge we'll get a spiritual body. I mentioned one verse in the beginning. Again, chapter 14. Again, this is due. The knowledge here we're talking about is Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. By understanding this, one can get a spiritual body because he'll be able to avoid Tamogun, Rajagun and just stick to Sattvagun. So those two verses refer to the modes of nature. Normally, it's not that one is sattvic, tamasic. It's mixed, but one is prominent. More sattvic person, more rajasic, more tamasic. If I'm going to just explain briefly what are the gunas. Maya has effect, which deludes us, takes away our spiritual nature. How does that happen? Tamogun means heavy influence of Maya, so heavy that we just have no clue about spiritual and soul, and we very much identified with the body. Then Rajagun means little less conditioning. Still, we are conditioned, we want to enjoy the body in this world. Sattvagun means not so much conditioned. He has some idea, Sattvam Sanjayate Jnanam. He has some idea what is going on in this world, what is spirituality, God, he has some idea. And he is relatively free from sins, peaceful, and seeking higher knowledge. So these are the three modes. I am summarizing something which is very long and complicated, just briefly. Okay? Sattvagun, one is in knowledge, free from sins, and some kind of happiness. Rajagun, unlimited desire, fruitive activity, that desire to enjoy this world. It's characterized mainly by attraction between man and woman. Tamogun, madness, laziness, sleep, intoxication. Doesn't do anything, sleeps, intoxicated, lazy, madness. This is Tamogun. So we are all under different modes, but one is prominent. Those with knowledge can see the modes. In food, in a place, in activity. We should get this knowledge and gravitate towards Sattvagun, sattvic food, associated with sattvic people, sattvic place. And gradually we come to Sattvagun, then spiritual. From there we can go to the spiritual level. In order to come to the spiritual platform, we have to learn to act, eat, and do austerity, give charity, and live on the sattvic platform. And this is subject matter of Bhagavad Gita in chapter 17 and 18. Long narration of verses explaining Sattva, Raja, Tama in every activity, every food, how to see it. So this is called Shastra Chakshu. One has to learn to see through Shastra and judge a situation. Chanakya Pandit said that normal people see through their eyes, cow sees through his nose. They'll identify by sniffing. And Brahmana sees through Shastra. We don't just judge by seeing, we have to see through Shastra what is this situation. So everyone should come on that platform, then spiritual life is easy. Divisions in Varnashram are supposed to be done according to Guna. So it was supposed to be that Brahman is Sattvagun, Kshatriya Rajagun, Vaishya Rajagun Tamagun, Shudra Tamagun. Foods are classified according to Guna. This is a famous picture in Bhagavad Gita. So sattvic foods, you see where the sun is shining. Fruits, vegetables, milk, etc. Then rajasic food, excess salt, excess chili, excess salt. I can't read this. Yeah, it's written there, whatever. And then tamasic food is, they don't say meat and all that, they just say decomposing things. And meat means as soon as animals dead, decomposition starts. Also, more than 3 hours after cooking. It's written. Excess sourness. Tamasic, rotting, decomposing, cooked more than 3 hours. Meat, fish, eggs, mushrooms. Okay, so even those who die in the different modes attain different destination. Sattvagun, Devatas, sages. Dying in the Rajagun, Rajas. You think Vartaman people engage in sense gratification, maybe back in this planet. And dying in Tamagun, then we attain and we devolve to animal species. This is in Gita. Okay.
It's called Shuddha Sattva.
Shuddha Sattva means pure Sattvagun, no Rajagun, no Tamagun. That is another word for spiritual. So Lord Shiva, there's a shlok in Shiv Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva's praying. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shaktitam Yatyati Tattva Bhagavana Padritam. He says that the Supreme Lord is known as Vasudev because he's in the Vasudev state, and that Vasudev is the name of his father, Krishna. But it also means Shuddha Sattva, the state where there is no Tamagun Rajagun. So when we have to approach that personality, we also have to become free from Rajagun and Tamagun. So Lord Shiva was praying, Sattvecha Tasmin Bhagavan Apavritam. In that state I am approaching Vishnu, free from the Guna, Shuddha Sattva state. So these gunas are there in knowledge, charity, speech, many things. We should all learn. In Bhagavad Gita it's given how to come and stay on spiritual platform, and we should do that. Sattvic platform. From there, bhakti easier to manifest. Spiritual energy is easier to access. So now last section here, overcoming illusion. Suffering of material world, whatever suffering we are undergoing, is due to the three modes of nature which act under Maya Devi. Okay, so we said here that this is the Maya Shakti. So now, overcoming this illusion. This is intelligence. Why should we endeavor for in this world? Work very hard for material profit and benefit. That doesn't make sense. We can do it, but actually coming out of Maya, because whatever material position we attain, again we take birth, and we did not come out of the clutches of Maya. But from a young age in the Vedic culture, children were sent to Gurukul. At that age, they were taught that now your life has started, you took a human form, you have to endeavor and to come out of the material energy in this life. This is the knowledge, this is how you do it. But this broke down. From the time one realizes this is the path, this is my situation, one should endeavor to come out of it. This is intelligence. Coming to the spiritual level. So how do you do that? Actually, it's difficult. It says in Bhagavad Gita. It says that Devi Yeshwaramayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. The three modes of nature, to overcome them is very difficult, or even impossible. Okay, but Krishna gives here. That's answer to your question at the beginning. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature, comes to the level of Brahman. Krishna says in Gita that if someone is engaged in bhakti, devotional service, the Guna cannot touch them, Maya cannot touch. So I'm chanting, okay, then I stop, then Maya hits me. I open Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, I'm reading, intelligence is now free from Maya. At that second, then I close, again it comes. But if I do continuous chanting, reading, hearing lecture, taking prasad, then after a time comes that we are fully purified and Maya doesn't come back. So, yeah.
But even the service you do,
Yes.
isn't it also fair to be influenced by mind? For example, you may be reading too many books, you like to finish it rather than to actually understand, or
Yeah.
like chanting, but not
We could be doing our bhakti with a different motive. Yeah, that means that is called Mishra Bhakti. It's not, it's called mixed bhakti. Because then the bhakti is not pure. Shuddha Bhakti means I'm doing it for the purpose of Krishna. But I'm reading many books. Why so? Then I can tell people I read so many books. And they impressed by me. So that is called Mishra Bhakti. Desire, other desires than to serve Krishna. So we're talking about Shuddha Bhakti. You have to come on that platform.
No, but with other bhakti, is it influenced by the moods then?
It's more, yeah. We are choosing that now I'm going to do this book distribution or reading to achieve some other motive, some fame. So we should consciously not do that and understand that if we do that, we'll not get the final benefit fully of bhakti. It will not be fully spiritual. It's a mixed.
So still there's an element of the moods.
Yes.
It's not fully.
Yeah. Due to our not practicing properly. Even like this is a temple, even in the Dham you can be influenced. Vrindavan, Pune, you can be influenced by mind if we don't properly act. Okay, so overcoming illusion. Very difficult. This divine energy consisting of the three modes is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered to me can easily cross. How to overcome material energy? How to overcome Maya? How to overcome sufferings? Bhagavad Gita gives only one way. That is, if we surrender to Krishna. Vishnu Vina Mrityu Na Taranti. Many verses are there that by surrendering to Krishna, the Maya does not have jurisdiction on you. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andhakara. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Adhikara. This is saying that Krishna is like the sun. Maya is like darkness. Wherever there is sun, there cannot be darkness. So where there is Krishna, there cannot be Maya and Guna and suffering. Yes.
Yeah, by surrender you mean like surrender of the life or surrender?
What does it mean of surrender? Surrender means Krishna is written in Gita and we read and follow his instruction. Surrender means like now we are fighting a war that I want to do my thing, I want to do this, I want to. But surrender means, okay, I give up my desire. Krishna, what do you want me to do? Krishna is okay, I want you to do it. This is what I advise. You live like this, do this, chant, read, take prasad, all these things. So, bhakti, basically what bhakti? There are nine forms of bhakti. I think many of you are familiar with it. I will not go because of time. Okay. These are the 9 forms of bhakti that we can perform. And any of them can deliver us fully. But in ISKCON, it's practically we're doing all 9 forms of bhakti. Hearing, chanting, remembering Vishnu, Padmasena. Okay, so how to overcome Maya? We have to fully surrender to Krishna. How to surrender? It means we study Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita and the books and take shelter of his devotees. And that way, we are able to come out of this deluding potency of mind. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any question?
What is the role of Prajapati? If we are saying Shiva and the God, they are creating actually. What is the role of Prajapati?
No, Shiva Durga created the forms. Prajapatis are populating the universes. They are producing children and populating. But how are they created? By Shiva Durga. No, they were created by Brahma. Shiva Durga provided the ingredients. Just like a mother provides ingredients for the child to develop in womb. So in that, when Mother Nature provides ingredients for creation, then Brahma created. Then Prajapatis were told, okay, now populate the universe. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any other question you can ask after this? Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki.
Jai.
Tomorrow is a